One of the things I talk about a lot on this show is sort of evolving and adapting. Don't have opinions based on, yesterday. I mean, I refuse to be loyal to a bad restaurant. If I go to a restaurant back-to-back times and it's bad, I don't care if I went there 20 years. It's not good anymore. So I saw a story yesterday, some video, big Ben Roethlisberger is trimming his beard. Everybody's like, look at Big Ben. Big Ben's laughing. He's throwing some passes. And, it's nice to see. Looks like a guy from the mountains, right? And when I laid out my NFL standings about 2 weeks ago, the one legendary franchise that everybody thinks is really going to be good this year, and I don't, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have them at 7-9. And I no longer think of the Pittsburgh Steelers as a great organization. To be a great organization, you have to be A at owner, A at GM, A at quarterback, and A at coach. I've told you my feelings about Mike Tomlin. I think he's going to be a great TV analyst. I think he's a great guy. I think there are moments I like him, but he's kind of sloppy, light on the details. I felt when he faced Belichick, he was completely outcoached. I never feel that when Andy Reid faces Belichick. I didn't feel that way when Doug Peterson faced Belichick. I never felt that way when Tony Dungy faced Belichick. I never feel that way when Pete Carroll faces Belichick. I feel that way when Tomlin faces Belichick. I also think Big Ben is off an injury, 38 years old, high on the drama, doesn't have a star receiver, offensive line is aging. Does everybody realize about Big Ben? Let's be honest about this. If you take out last year, because he played a game and a half, so let's just pretend last year didn't happen, he leads the NFL in interceptions since 2015. He doesn't work very hard in the offseason. Russell Wilson does. Andrew Luck did. Carson Wentz does. Drew Brees does. Deshaun Watson does. Lamar Jackson does. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes does. I don't see him much, but I imagine he does. Big Ben doesn't. I talk about on this show, don't base an opinion on what happened yesterday. I've never understood the loyalty to sports. You would not go on an airline if you had bad experiences. You would not go to a restaurant if you've had bad experiences. When I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Big Ben story, I have them finishing third in their division. I just don't, and I don't know any clear way to say it. It's a head coach quarterback league. I don't think they're an A&E either. I also don't think they're as well run as Kansas City right now. I don't think they're as well run as Philadelphia in their own state right now. I think there's 7 or 8 teams in the NFL, including San Francisco, Baltimore, that are just better run. Nothing against them, but when I see the Big Ben video, I'm like, cool. I still think you're finishing third. The league's evolving. It's adapting. Lots of smart people, some brilliant young coaches, some quarterbacks that work harder. Big Ben has become more legacy than legend to me. All the good stuff feels like years and years and years ago. Ex-49er general manager was talking about the 49ers losing Joe Staley and then getting Trent Williams. And he said, Joe Staley's great. He's not Trent Williams. Trent Williams, by the way, was drafted by Mike Shanahan, so Kyle Shanahan knows him well. Trent Williams will walk right in. The 49ers have a really good opening schedule that works to their favor. When it comes to overs and unders, I almost always take the unders because fans, when I bet college football, I'm betting the game. When I bet the NFL, I'm just betting against the public because so many people bet the NFL. I think most bettors are suckers. They bet quarterbacks. They bet teams on hot streaks. They bet what happened last week. They bet favorites. They bet big brands. So in the NFL, I just bet against the public. That's really what I'm doing. I'm looking at the number and betting against the momentum of the public. And usually I take unders because on over-unders, fans are always optimistic. They love their team, and they bet the over. I'm starting to think I made a mistake. There's 7 teams in the NFL that bring back a very good team. What does that mean? They won double digits in the regular season last year. Doesn't mean you made the playoffs. I'm not talking about 9-7 made the playoffs. A very good team that won double digits in the NFL, and you return your quarterback, your head coach, and both coordinators. There are 7 of those. 3 in the AFC, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Bills. And there's 4 in the NFC. The Niners, The Packers, Seattle, and the Saints. I have 7 for 7 making the playoffs. But in a lot of them, I've got an over, I got some unders. This may be the year you just take overs on all of them. So 2011, 9 years ago, there was a lockout. So you didn't get all the OTAs, you didn't get the practice. You go back and look at that year. That year there was a 15-1 team, there was 3 13-win teams, and there were 2 12-win teams. Why? 5 of the 6 teams, Saints, New England, Baltimore, Green Bay, Steelers, brought back the coach, brought back the quarterback. So there are just some teams this year. We don't have OTAs. Right now, you can go to the facility if you're rehabbing, but coaches now are only communicating through Zoom. And I think this is going to be a year where we got a bunch of 13-win teams at the top, and I think I know who they are, and we're going to have some 14-win teams. And I've got to be honest, I don't see Baltimore losing more than 1 or 2 games at most. They don't even go to the West Coast. So, and I also think we're going to have some really bad teams because of the opposite. I'll give you Cincinnati, for example. They brought in a bunch of new free agents defensively. They've got a rookie quarterback and a second-year head coach and a brutal division. They're going to be a bad team. Nothing against Joe Burrow. Cincinnati's going to be bad. The New York Giants, second-year quarterback, new head coach who's never been a head coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and they're counting on a couple of free agents and a couple of draft picks to make a real impact. That's going to be a bad football team. Washington, new coach, new culture, still a young quarterback who hasn't started a season. Dallas and Philadelphia, they got better players. Washington's not going to be very good. Now, the team that I think is better than Vegas or Fox Bet think, but my staff basically talked me into this morning's going to be bad. So blame them if my over-under is wrong. Carolina. I love Matt Rule, and I like Teddy Bridgewater. I love Christian McCaffrey. But Matt Rule, the coach of Carolina, again, new coach, new quarterback, new system, new young coordinators. Matt Rule is a guy that comes into a program and he tears it down to the studs. Now, he turns it around in year 2, but his first year in Temple, he won 2 games, and his first year at Baylor, he won 1. And this division's really good, and Brady's in it, and Breeze is in it, and Matt Ryan's in it. The truth is Carolina's going to be probably bad. I think I was wrong on that. The more my staff talked me into it this morning, again, I'm going to blame them if anything happens. It's not going to be my fault, but I think they're probably right. I think I'm too high on Carolina. They got too much new stuff in a brutal division. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.